Linde Behringer. I'm the mom of 5 kids, Zahlen, Xtehn, Vehro, Rohre, and Qxhna, who have started this company, 5 Bamboo. We're at Seattle Center today at Bumbershoot. They are the main merchandisers for this event. Yeah, the kids are doing good things. They went away to school. I have one of my kids that was an environmental minor in school, so that's kind of her green leaning. She got a grant, went over to China, studied how to make bamboo clothing green. Everybody else says we're green, but they're not. They're not as green as we are. She's gone over and, found the chemicals, which are like 80–90% reusable. And the reason to go with bamboo over cotton is bamboo doesn't take a lot of water. I mean, it just grows. There's tons of it in China. Little by little, if you start searching around, there's bamboo for sale everywhere. In the Southwest where they grow trees, now they're growing bamboo. If you go up on the plateau, Sammamish Plateau, this one company has got a whole farm of bamboo. They're just growing, and they've let us use their bamboo in our booth to kind of highlight what the product's made of. So, 5 kids. They started a company called 5 Ultimate. That was their passion in school, playing ultimate frisbee. And they found, the one kid studied Chinese, so they were in Beijing. And they kind of got into manufacturing, and they're now one of the main merchandisers for, this is 5 Ultimate, one of the main merchandisers for the ultimate frisbee people. And their green aspect, it went over into forming the company 5 Bamboo. And so they run both companies. 5 kids, the oldest is 30 and the youngest is 19 and still in college. They all work full-time on it. And what else?
Who's the leader of the bunch?
You know what? There isn't a leader. They all are different enough and have different abilities that they're not staking out turf. Like, they were in some competition and it sort of looked better to have a woman be the president, so she was a president for a while. But there isn't really one president. They just work together on it.
So there are 5 of them. Do they all vote? And 3 against 2? Is that how is it democracy rules? Or are you on the board?
No, Mom and Dad. The reason my husband and I are here, because this is their biggest event, 5, doing Bumbershoot. It's a big deal to do this. And it's a big deal to get Bumbershoot and, quote, the world to buy off on being green, but by being really green. They've studied it, and this product is, it's good. And same thing with the dresses. They're trying to make, I've got on one of their dresses. It's called a holiday dress, and they make the coolest thing they make right over here, which I would like to think that everybody at this festival, instead of buying T-shirts, bought Bam boxers. Now this doesn't have the logo on it, but over in the other tent, Bam boxers, they've got the logo for Bumbershoot on their Bam boxers. So it'd be really cool, because you know how the kids are all walking around showing the label on their boxers. So, maybe that, whatever. So they all work together. They're in Belltown here in Seattle. And that's where 4 of the kids live. The one is still on college on the East Coast. And the oldest one is also in China. He has an apartment there, so he's half-time working, going out, just to always make the product better.
What advice do you have to parents so that their kids will grow up to be like your kids?
Turn off the television. I think that's, if I had to say one thing that has made my kids what they are, is we didn't have TV growing up. There was no television, so they got to fight. They argue, they think, but all the time they'd be out like building catapults or just building things, making things, talking, interacting, rather than sitting and taking it in. So they were always doers. And we always told them that you can. We had one kid that was kind of shy, and we always tell him, you're great, and then all of a sudden, he thought he was greater than he really was. He thought he could do all kinds of things, and going, wait a minute, you're not that great. But if you do that to your kids and talk to them, and we just always included them in things. We, whenever we went anywhere or did anything, we always talked to them, not like a 2-year-old that didn't know what they were doing, but just like an adult. And I think that was it. No TV, and then we also did a thing is like we had good parents for them. It's kind of like godparents, but people who we thought in our lives were just like awesome leaders. One guy, one of the good parents is the founder of a company that does bicycles, Grip Shift. He discovered with some people, and so we just had him go to his company. He had another one whose husband bought timber up in Canada, so they'd go up to dinner with them, and they'd be sitting around the table. He goes, well, now we have to decide, are we going to buy this pulp mill or not? And the kids at age 10 felt like they were part of a process of deciding whether they were going to buy a pulp mill. So, just letting them feel important and including them in what you're doing, and so that's it. My husband and I have just normal names. John, that's about as boring as you can get, and Linde. So we made up our names, like Zahlen is the oldest. And it's just, your firstborn, they're awesome. He's awesome. And he can do anything. Anything, people want to be with him, no matter what he's doing. He can get people in a group together, and all of a sudden, everybody wants to be with him, whatever he's doing. And then Xtehn, Zahlen's like ideas. Let's do this and this and this. And Xtehn, X-T-E-H-N, we started at the back of the alphabet. Z, X, V, R, Q. Xtehn's the guy, they were at school. Zahlen have all these ideas, and then Xtehn's the guy. It's like, okay, you say we can do this, we can do Earth Day. Well, who's going to procure the plants, and where are we going to get them, and how are we going to get the volunteers? So Xtehn's like, okay, calling the people, and Xtehn's like the logistics guy. He's figuring things out and doing things. Like here at the festival, he's the guy, they got all these big barrels, how to save water, but he's the guy who says, look, you know what, these barrels would make awesome.
Let's walk over there.
Okay, these barrels would make awesome drums. So he's saying to me, all right, how are we going to get, drumsticks? What are we going to do? Drumsticks are going to get stolen or thing like that. Let's figure out what we can do for drumsticks. So, this kind of thing. He plays, and he's going to have some other kids coming out here. But here I'm drumsticking with your microphone. I'm not supposed to be doing that. But he's the drummer. He's the logistics. He's the guy that says, not only are we going to do this green thing, but we're going to make it fun. We're going to get 12-year-olds or these like look at these guys here. They're just kind of sitting here listening to music. We're going to get them to come over. We're going to get them to play some music. We're going to get maybe this guy to play some music. Talk to him about the green aspect. Talk to him about the fact that it's a company. Kids, they went to school in Seattle, and they're doing it. So that's Xtehn, the second one. Vehro is the peacemaker. I mean, they don't agree on things. Zahlen is saying Xtehn's not treating me with enough respect. They're saying Zahlen's doing too much. So Xtehn's the guy that Vehro's the guy that goes in and kind of negotiates and gets the peace going and talks to things. And even in the family, when we have family meetings and we're trying to do something, hey, Vehro, you run the meeting because you are less confrontatory than I am. So that's Vehro. Fourth kid, the reason I had so many is because I wanted a girl. So the fourth one's a girl, and that's Rohre, R-O-H-R-E. And she's gorgeous. She's outgoing, and she gets things done. She's the taskmaster. she'll go around, she'll go, okay, we got to do this, this, and this. So she kind of like ropes everybody into doing things. She's also the first one to have learned Chinese, so she's the one that got the grant, went over and traveled out in the countryside, figured out all the science behind this stuff. And then, let's see, the fifth one is Qxhna. Her name's Qxhna. And what's, you know, the jury's out what her real role in the group, other than for Bumbershoot, she and the oldest one, the three other, they were down in California the last 2 days playing an ultimate. They play their other company, 5 Ultimates. They're down in California in a big tournament. They're on the premier teams here in Seattle, so they had to go down. Rory's captain of her team. Yeah, Rory's a real leader. She's a captain of her ultimate team. So Qxhna, at age 19, had to step up. I mean, Zahlen, the oldest, is running this thing, and so she's up every morning at 6:30 supporting him, and all of a sudden, you know, she's in charge of the inventory. So people are asking me, where do you get this? I'll say, everybody's asked Qxhna. So, you know, being 19, she's just stepped up into a lot of different roles. So that's the take on all the kids. And then maybe the ethics comes from my husband. He's from a Seattle family that was in the timber business, and they've just always put ethics on a real high level. We got a cousin that's running for Congress, and when you come across ethical people, it's like kind of hard, because sometimes you want to cheat, you want to, you know, just get things done, or why can't we, you know, squirrel around or not do anything, but they always want to do it right. So I think that's, you know, my husband's a lawyer also, so he takes very seriously that oath that you take as a lawyer to always tell the truth and that sort of thing. So that's been handed down to the kids. And also never to swear. Like, if that's another thing. If you swear, he always said that was, you know, if you can't find a better word and you have to use a swear word, you know, you're just not making it. You got to find a better word to express yourself rather than swear words. So,
that's the story.
That's the story. That's it. Thank you.